All right. We have switched to the paid account. Buffalo, please. I'm trying to talk here. No, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. We are going into a sealed Ravnica event here. It's 3 RNA and 3 GRN. We'll see how that goes. We're doing it on the paid account because around these parts, free to play does not do sealed. The gem cost is a little too high for that. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a wacky sealed. We'll see what happens. But what's not wacky is getting your magic gear from cardkingdom.com. You can go to my affiliate link down below in the panels of my stream to get there from me, which is very helpful for me. But if you need stuff for Magic, Card Kingdom has you. Card Kingdom totally has you covered. You know, you've heard it before. You've heard me say it. You've heard others say it because it's true. Like, if you just want a one-stop shop where you're going to get the highest level of quality customer service and the widest variety of products, Card Kingdom is top of the list. So I use them all the time. I recommend that you do too. And if you do it from the affiliate link, that really helps out my stream. So check them out. Yeah, get these packs if you want to try it at home. So this isn't really practicing for anything real, but it will be practice about how to approach looking at a sealed pool. And it's going to have the same considerations as all sealed, which is it's going to be a step slower than draft. And we're looking to play our bombs. We're looking to approach our end game, be able to make sure we have a inevitability plan and hope that our inevitability plan is better than our opponents. So you've actually done this before, James. All right. I'm going to confirm this purchase. I'm going to get into my deck building view, so I'm going to hide out up here for a little bit. Maybe his chat gets pretty small here. Maybe for right now, I'm going to put it down here and make it larger. See how it feels over here. I don't know. I'm going to find a place for this chat, I think, for a deck building view. But anyway, let's see what we got. Citywide bust. More like pack-wide bust. Are you kidding me? Battlement's okay. Ritual of Soot, while a, quote, sweeper, is more of a constructed happy card. Like, we might play it, but it feels like it's good in draft against aggro, but against sealed, this just is going to miss too much. Same with this. So Expansion Explosion is a pretty sweet rare. Maybe we can find a home for this in our final build. Slowbra is asking about how M20 feels. Definitely after the bot update, white is so wide open, people are playing it a lot more, for sure. Yeah, so, and then anyway, we'll see. Like, Lumbering Battlement is okay too, but this is all pretty gross. This is not great. So we're going to have to find synergies and hope our uncommons are good. So my approach to Seal deck in Arena, where you can't really see all your cards at once, like, there are complaints about the Arena Sealed UI, but I think it actually, in the end, works okay, because you should kind of be looking at your stuff in chunks anyway. Like, we looked at the rare and mythic chunk, now we're going to look at the uncommon chunk. And I'm going to start pulling in stuff that excites me, like this is exciting. Full stop, and we're done. Wow. All right, we're in trouble, folks. Maybe we go Boros aggro. Get him, surprise them all. Yeah, the mana bump here is decent. Maybe we'll play a Gatekeeper Gargoyle. We should have 6 gates. That's something to look at as well. Clear the stage, decent, but not great, League Guild Mage. Play that. I'm just going to put the ones in that we'd play here. Maybe even in Sealed Regenesis. This, by putting them in here, now I can filter to commons, and we can see... we'd play Snitch if we did. I don't think we'd play Bankrupt in Blood. I don't think we're playing the lack of evasion on this dude just kind of wrecks the Colossus. There's nothing much going on here. So these are just stone unplayable, I think. And now we can go look at commons. I don't want to see gold commons. Let's see what we have in gold. Yeah, we can look at gates too. If you want to see gates here. Here's our gate situation. Good to know when, you know, it's like we have 3 red gates, 2 blue gates, and oh, there's 2 Rakdos. That's what's going on. So got a lot of black and red. 3 black, 3 red, not much green at all, which is not the worst. Okay, so that's that situation. Oh, is there 3 white? I kind of missed that part. Yeah, there's 3 white gates. Although with one, this Selesnya Guild Gate is unlikely to be played unless we got like some serious green fixing, which is possible. Maybe we got the green fixing at common to do that. But let's go back and take a look here. So this is us looking at common gold cards. Since we didn't have any power in our rares, we should be looking at this range too. The Sizzle is nice. So maybe between Sizzle and Agent and Griffin and the rare, where definitely is it, and then maybe we can be something else here. Aeromunculus. So maybe we could do Teamer. Although we didn't have much fixing in green. But yeah, there is some tempting Teamer going on here, I admit. Maybe I just have to make that work. Like that could go in it. There's just not a lot of land support for Teamer, which is really too bad. Yeah, that's true. We do have a stomping ground. That'll help. But in Sealed, you generally want to gravitate towards your power, and we'll throw that in there. All right, we'll take a look at individual colors at common. There's 2 luminous bonds. So maybe there's some decent white. It's not great. All right, we'll keep that in mind. I'll put these bonds in. We did have bonds may be splashable. Like, I don't know. We had 3 white gates, so yeah, maybe it could be even 4 color if we get pulled and have the mana support. I don't think that sounds right, but we'll keep going through here. All right, what else you got for us? Blue, Chili Bee. This is a good locket for us to have, actually. One cover up in Sealed is going to be nice to shuffle stuff back in. Slimebind, good. Prying Eyes, probably decent here. The cover up in. Putting the Gator in, maybe. Well, we have cuts to make, obviously. We got to figure out what our main colors are. So I'm kind of filling up the deck now, and we're going to build this one by subtraction rather than addition. Make sure there's nothing. Yeah, so black is not offering us much in this draft. I think we can just kind of cut that color, right? Like there's been no tempting black. It's been Teamer with some tempting splashes in white, but we can just eliminate black here, I think, entirely. So that's good. I like being able, that's one thing to do when you're approaching Sealed. One of the first things I like to do is figure out if there's a color that I'm sure I'm not playing or splashing. Now we can come back to a splash possibility here, but we're not going to splash Consign the Pit, right? Like, we're just not. So we're not even splashing from this pool of cards. So we can just basically ignore black, and that really helps narrow things down. So we did have a lot of red. We like a Wojek Bodyguard. Oh, and we had a lot of Teamer that we're looking at. So we're hoping for some tempting red. I guess we could play a Fiend and a Recluse. And a Boar is not the worst. Hoping to not play these 2. And Gruul Locket adds again to the Locket situation. Yeah, I think we are heading towards solid Teamer situation. Let's see what green commons have to offer. Ugh, not much. So maybe green is our splash. We're like, is it splash green? Although, you know, We maybe have enough in the gold commons to really have green be the main color, even though we don't have a lot of monocolored. Like, we could play in this. Not happy about the boar, but we could. Maybe one worm. If we play white, I really don't think we are... you know, if we're splashing white, I don't think we're going to play Legionnaire. I mean, we can put it in. I said I'm doing this. We're building this through subtraction. I just think we'll subtract that pretty quickly based on white as a splash possibility, not as a main color. But it's possible red-white just attracts us back towards an aggro deck. Like, we might just want to see what a red-white deck looks like after we come up with a teamer. So let's go teamer. Let's look at a teamer build that only looks to maybe splash removal. I'm not going to splash that. Yeah, saving different builds is the thing that that if they... I don't mind having to filter things to a subset to look at while deck building, but it really would be nice to have multiple builds saved out as we puzzle through what correct is right here. And I want to look... kind of just looking at curve right now in particular. So the next step in my sealed process here, especially since, you know, I've put a lot of our tempting playables in this deck, I'm sorting it by curve to look at if there's... sometimes a curve will tell you a lot. Sometimes you'll see that, oh, we only have 2 drops if we actually play green, right? And so you can look at curve to sometimes rule out a color or color pair simply because of what they offer. But I think with the Engineer and the Aeromunculus, maybe we do go the triple Aeromunculus. Maybe red is our splash here. We think about red as the splash, and we splash for like... or maybe not. Yeah, it all depend. Like, a lot depends on whether we're wanting to go with this Aeromunculus. Yeah, we can put the dual lands in just to be aware. I don't, you know. Let's see, and also let's filter. Oh, we didn't even add our uncommons too. No, we did. I added the good ones. Okay, so this is where. Oh, come on. All right, we want Stomping Ground. This is the problem with Teamer, right? This is a problem with our pool. We've ruled out black, and 3 of our dual lands are black. That's rough. Really rough, actually. Our removal is... let's pull our removal over here. We have this, 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 this. I think that's it for removal. And you could... Footlight Fiend is next door to be thinking about it. Yeah, we could just cut the white entirely and run those 3 red cards. Cut. Maybe we run the Guild Mage. This is a good late game card. But then basically cut the rest of the red. I don't think we're doing Lizroggy things enough to bother including, are we? I guess we're playing some Aeromunculi that could make this big, but the 1 gate payoff, what are we talking about? Oh, the gargoyle? Yeah, we don't want the gargoyle. We're not running many gates. We may bring it back. I'm just starting with looking at red as a removal splash. And let's get out of lands, because we are miserably... Yeah, look at this. This is awful. Our land to spell power is just completely mismatched. We do get to bring in this. I guess. We might need to copy, but we can copy Skewer and Savage Smash. You want to see white in all of its glory. Here, I'll do it this way. This should be everything, right? Yeah, okay, this is all white. I have, Robert. It's not a great card, but yes, I've actually made a huge Lizrog and won with it, but I played a heck ton of the format, so... This is... What a confounding pool. Really confounding pool. All right, well, let's see where... Okay, this is 42, just to see where we're at with this possibility. This is a 13-12. No. Ugh, come on. Although that might be the cut. Taking Regenesis? What are we getting from Regenesis? Like, dead creatures? Hold on. I want to actually just save this, and then we can try other decks. Might as well save the first deck you make, and then if it's the one you choose, you have it already ready. But basically, something like this. We know that this is not done. It needs mana addressing, and it needs a cut. But we can say, yeah, there's no bombs to bring back. That's why I was looking at cutting that. Yeah, I can still screenshot it, but definitely want to save it is my point. This is ugly. All right, so what do we want to try to build instead? Something with white base? You want to see what white-red looks like? Yeah, we'll come to final cuts on that build later. I'm gonna just kill the whole deck here. Yeah, I want to look at like approaching this from a red-white aggro standpoint and see what that ends up looking like. Usually it's just not quite good enough, but sometimes you're attacking the format a little differently and it can work it out, especially... Wait. I don't know if we want to do all... we'll put it in for now. We got to run any even remote playable, like, ugh. I'm going to put the 10th district in, but we sure hope to cut that one. Same with Fire Urchin and Maniacal Rage, but we'll put it in just to see what as low to the ground as it gets looks like. Not playing Street Riot, though. We might play a Senate Griffin. Here's a card copier. But I don't think we're playing that. We get a Legionnaire and a Justice Strike and a Boros Gate, and then that's it. That's the deck. So, suggest lands, and then make 2 cuts. Urchin, Cavalcade is, quote, a thing. I mean, the real question is Cavalcade a thing? And you get Urchin, you get... Wasn't there one other one? Oh, Hunted Witness. But then that's like it, and that's not enough. And here we have 16-9. Probably just cut like Citywide Bust. And maybe this Veteran. Well, we do have, let's see, oh, Toughness 4 or greater. So let's see, we lose Recluse and Battlement. But that is about it. Adrian says, this doesn't look terrible, but if the format is slower, it might not work. What do you mean by that? If the format is slower, this will work great, right? If the format is slower and we've managed to find a fast deck, that's good for us, right? This kind of looks better to me than the other deck. We'll use that screenshot now to kind of compare. We're here. Why is the only place I can drag a window around on the top? Eat that. I was going to try and show both at once on screen, but it's too difficult. It will curve out, but it might stall out. Sure. I guess what I'm trying to understand is how you think a slow format makes this deck worse. If the format is slow and you have a fast deck, the format doesn't get to make your deck slow. Your deck is what it is, right? Yeah, we could splash. Let's look at our splash colors again. We had how many white? So we had blue, and yeah, we could put in, like, we are a little to the green splash, but we have the other land. I guess we could splash, like, where is it? Why wouldn't it? Don't we have? Where's our stomping ground? I have to take this off? What's going on? I don't understand this filter. Can I do it for here? What if I just look for stomp? All right, whatever, that worked. So that's actually, you know, there is a possible green splash in here if we want to look at, like, wow, why is it not? Do I have something set in here? What's going on? What if I just reset? Let's start with a reset. And then gold cards. We could splash for Savage Smash is what I was thinking. No, I turned it off. I don't know. I'll go. Not really worth going back and checking the tape, but pretty sure, like, I had red and green on, and land and gold. And if I had red, green, land, and gold on, it should sure find a stomping ground, right? Oh, well, that's ridiculous. It'll show. So wait a second. It'll show. It'll show me Rakdos Guildgate, even though I don't have black selected. But if I select green, it turns it off because, yeah, that makes sense. Sure, that makes sense. Maybe the R-Inks. I don't think the R-Inks is that amazing, though. Like, what do you, I mean, as a splash? Like, what makes the R-Inks good is coming out on turn 4, right? Turn 4 R-Inks is why we like this card. Well, Robert, you got to play something, and if we don't play the lockets, we got to play something else. Well, this build doesn't have the lockets, right? So if we did this, what would we cut? Maybe Maniacal Rage is a little greedy, but it's kind of what this build is trying to do. Get people who aren't expecting this. Maybe cut Hunted Witness. What if we did this? And then we have 14-9, a little under creatured, but Hunted Witness, not great, although it does wear a turn 2 Maniacal Rage. We could also just cut the Rage. 14-9's our current split. A little low. Would like a little more creatures, but we are using it for removal. We could cut the Bring to Trial since we're bringing in the Smash. That's true. We have 2 Fire Urchins to pick up Stalwart Mentor triggers. But we could do something like this and cut even like a Bring to Trial. No seafood. Seven, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 8, 3. That seems fair as well. Let's give it a try. I'm going to get going here. I think I like this. The look of this one, despite the Maniacal Rage, very non-LR, non-Ryan type card to play here, but we're trying to run... We had a weak pool with no bombs, so we're trying to swing it the other way and leverage Justice Strike, Skewer, Savage Smash, Luminous Bonds ×2, and a bunch of creatures to just kind of get there. We could also take out the Take Heart and put back in the Bust. But this is a fun combo with your, we can do it on the Stalwart and get some extra. I think we'll run this and try it. I'm not going to run the Rnx right now. You tell me what we think if you're an Rnx on Team Rnx, what are we cutting for it, and then we'll think about whether we'd rather have that. But I'm going to just get going here. Time to play. We can adjust as needed, and I'll get into the right place here. Oh, I kind of covered up my own screen. How did the chat in the lower left work there? Was it covering up too much? Feels like that's a pretty good place, actually, for deck building chat. This is RNA Sealed. And we are from paid. And we are oh. All right, how's our hand? Haven't even looked. Not great, Bob, but we're gonna keep it. This is the worst. Like, not having a 2 is just the worst. Oy. I'm gonna keep it. I hate that we don't have a 2, but I can't throw this back. Oh, it's not on here. Boom, boom, boom. Took a shortcut yesterday and just hid them. Yeah, it would have been like a greedy mulligan instead of a greedy keep. That's interesting. Well, we found something. All right, there was one person who proposed this be the Rnx, so... Again, it's a data point. It's not an answer. But that could have been an Rnx. Let's see. Smelt Ward. Instant or sorcery, so the Luminous Bonds won't trigger the Smelt Ward. I'm going to go with the 2/3 though because it blocks the Goblin. We'll attack first though. If they want to trade Gravelhide for the Witness, obviously we'd do that. Surprisingly not interested. And yeah, we could critic, but we can, let's max out our mana. Ideally we draw Plains, then we have the choice between Senate Griffin or like a Skewer on Spectacle plus one of our 3s. Interesting. Well, I think we attack. We could bonds the gravel hide, but that doesn't seem right to me. I think we just attack and then probably attack, get through, play Hazda officer and pass, but let's just attack and see. Yeah, unusual that Oppo and I both ended up here. Still looking for a plains. Oh, shoot. I should read. You can punt that. I thought this was die for a counter. It's I'm old on this format. This is my reminder to read your cards, Ryan. So that's a lost point. We'll see if that matters. All right, read your cards, Ryan. You haven't played them in a while. Hey, medium. Glad you're hanging. But yeah, we're going to say no blocks. If they want to spend the turn pumping, that's amazing. And if they spend the turn making a creature, we have the tools for that as well, even if we don't draw land. Ideally, we draw a land of some kind. Even a mountain is decent here. So we could just critic it, but we could also take heart to win combat and have a skewer for the other creatures. Let's just attack. We have take heart to win combat against hero. Our other creatures will connect and allow us to skewer probably the legionnaire, but what do you like? Taking out the Goblin or the Legionnaire? Goblin has the potential to get big, but frankly, if they use all their mana for that, that's like good for us. I think we skewer the Legionnaire. You want to skewer face, Fiddles? Wow. You like face? They go to 10. And they stop attacking and have blockers? What are you thinking? I'm going for the Legionnaire. I think anybody going to face here is doing a little too soon. Obviously, again, we want a plains, but we'd even take a mountain. Like, Rubble Belt Boar would be a fine play here. But probably they're going to play something big and we get to bonds it. That's my guess. Two big things. All right. Well, I said a mountain would be somewhat acceptable, and it kind of is. Blade Instructor can make Gravel Hide bigger, but we can Rubble Belt the 1/1 to make a 3/3, and then everything is a trade or better from there, and we can just swing away and keep applying pressure. If they want to crack back, we have Rubble Belt blocking Acrobat or Instructor, and we just have to accept that Gravel Hide gets a token. They're down to 1 card, plus the ability to draw a couple more. So yeah, we're going to do it this way. I'm going to do that. We could also make something big enough, but like, none of these survive Acrobat. So what we want to do is just, and we can't pump toughness anyway, so we're just going to make everything a trade with everything, so then we can attack. Now this Hazda officer is going to die and give me a +1/+1 counter to... Oh, no, wait, that's not what it does, because I didn't read. Great, they got the brakes on. We're going to throw down the bonds. Still can't cast this dumb Griffin, but we can make this... We can... Let's see, hold on. Yeah, this becomes a 4/3. This becomes a 5/2. Actually, maybe if we put it on the gravel hide. These are both trades. And we can even offer the hunted witness, because if they want to take time to block the hunted witness, we wouldn't really care. But yeah, I'm going to put it here despite this being a smaller power, because the smaller toughness actually turns both of these into trades if we keep attacking. And hey, look, it's me remembering to play to life total and not board. In my board control mindset, it's my default position is don't attack with witness, and I have to be better about attacking with things like witness at a time where we don't care, where we don't expect them to block it, and if they do, we're happy. I haven't checked. I saw that something came in, but I have not gone to the post yet. So if that thing is from you, cool, thanks. I'll look forward to going to pick that up. Fair point about the locket, but I liked that play. Now we'll see what they can do here. All right, well, here's a flyer we can cast, and I don't know what they've got with 6 mana and 3 cards. This is awfully smelly, but I also don't know why I would hold back on an attack here unless someone can come up with an instant speed play in those colors that's particularly 2 or 3 for 1-y. Well, we've got a flyer and they're at 5. I gotta make them have it, because if this goes all horribly wrong, at least we drop a 2-powered flyer that threatens to end this in a few turns. Alright, not the worst at all. We'll see if they've got another thing for the witness. Perfect, they don't. So we have something to mentor onto, and we have a 2-turn clock. No problem. Except, okay, give me a way to pronounce your name. If you're gonna mail me something, or if you like snumbers and letters, I can do snumbers and letters. Sorry, I was chatting and didn't see my the loss of my flyer, but we have a new one. Oh, okay. Well, see, I just needed to understand the leet speak. Now that I understand it, I'll say your... thank you, Stoned. I will check my mailbox. I know. I'm like... I speak choppy, broken leet speak, all right? Back off. I'm 47. Hey, my peers wrote the language. I just wasn't paying attention that day. Deck is teasing us a bit here. Blocks or becomes blocked. Okay, that's the right goblin for them to have. We can't really do anything about that. We're just waiting patiently. Well, come on. Only the worst card in our deck. No, we don't have a shock. We don't have a reach out and kill him card, I don't think. Nope. Oh, Boros? No, it's a guild gate. Yeah, this is probably like telling me to put the right mountain, my favorite mountain art in. Did we miss a point? How did we miss a point? Tell me how I missed the... Oh, yeah, earlier. Yeah. Totally. I thought you were saying just there we did. Yep, that's a good call out. This is why I'm not on the Pro Tour. These little edges, you know? All right, bonds. All right, we're going to go from 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. We're probably going to 9. I'm not going to bonds yet. Well, maybe so. I think if we win here, it probably involves bondsing the spirit, but it might involve bonding the goblin. So I'm actually going to wait. They may get greedy and send in beetle and spirit, in which case we can bonds the goblin and win. So I'm just going to say no attacks here. Punting is real, folks. Don't do it. Yeah, that's frustrating. 0-1 should be 1-0, but you don't always get free lessons, and I got an expensive read your old cards, Ryan. You haven't played this format in months lesson. I don't even know if that's a good bomb. I guess it is in sealed, but I'm really disappointed that we failed to close that out. That's really bad. Tilted. First game in. They're just better, Marsh. I mean, they're just better. Like, they're more disciplined, more regimented in their thinking. I think top players are going to remember, like, a lot of the top players are just going to actually remember that card correctly, for one thing. Oh, yeah, there's a Footlight Fiend. Hold on, that's a good call. I forgot we had that card. I don't know why I didn't make... I think I like Footlight Fiend better than Hunted Witness if we're going to be playing ones. Let's go back and look at that. Good call. No, but I do think the difference between the best of the best and the rest of us is as simple as practice and habits and better brain power. Having better brain power doesn't even necessarily make you smarter or a better person. I'm just saying, or better magic brain power. I just call it like seeing down the decision tree. I just feel like the best of the best see down the magic decision tree in ways the rest of us can only aspire to. It's just really difficult. The Fire Urchin you want to cut? We have Wojak Bodyguard, Sunhome Stalwart, and Parhelion Patrol, and so I want to keep in the Fire Urchins. That and for curve, but I think we could drop a 3. Exaltation is kind of weird in this deck. I will keep it, but I think it's a little weird. Maybe we just cut the Witness itself and switch to Footlight Fiend here. Now I'll just do this. Drop the Smash Splash. It was a little awkward there. I'm going to give it one more chance, double D's, but I'm feeling you. I don't know if the... we've got decent removal in red-white. I don't know if messing up our mana and ability to cast stuff is worth the Savage Smash. But boy, if we did happen to have the mana for it, we just win that game off of it. So, I don't know. We also win the game off of me not punting. Brah. 3 losses, 2 fouls to give, and then our third loss is all over. Is there any real drawback? Yes, there is. I mean, I was talking to Jay about this, but I think it's different in constructed and limited, especially. In this deck, it's less important for sure, but the main thing medium is, let's say you had a clear best card in your deck that, you know, you opened, it's M20 and you opened Red Chandra. If you play 41 cards, you're basically likely putting an extra card between you and Chandra. Like, you're risking putting an extra card between you and your best card in the deck, and you don't want to do that. It's like a whole turn. We have we have these 2 dual lands, and then we have also have the Stomping Ground. So we have these 2 Stomping Ground, so we have 3 sources for green. We're going to keep this, and we have a nice curve out here. Cannot curve out to Parhelion on these lands, but if we draw another untapped land, we can curve out from here. Probably, Robert. I don't know if you're how serious you are about that, but Leet Speak emerged in the, what, 90s? And is just, you know, subbing numbers and letters, subbing numbers for letters, and it came from the word elite. Like, if you could speak that way, you were elite. We'll go ahead and run out our Smelt Ward. It cannot be... Here's the difference. Fire Urchin doesn't hit as hard at first, but having it around for the patrol will be better in the long run. Ignis hits harder at first, but cannot be mentored by the patrol. Because we have a boar to even increase the Parhelion again, I think... I'm going to go with Urchin here, actually. It's less damage in the immediate, but it sets up for a patrol that's nice if that all plays out. The other thing is, you know, no plan survives contact with the enemy. Okay, well, we got an untapped land, so we can curve out from here. It doesn't actually matter. And now that I know what this card does, it's not going to make a difference. We could also play Ingus and save the officer for later. Neither the officer nor the urchin get through here, even if we officer the urchin. So actually, I'm going to go Ignis, sorry, not Ingus, Ignis. Because later having these officer and rubber belt effects with the patrol will allow for some extra mentor. That's what I'm hoping for here. And since we're not getting in with the officer through this anyway, let's do that. And given that, now I regret my land play. I should have played the Guild Gate this turn. So there's a I wouldn't even call it a punt, because I don't think it's going to matter that much, but it's certainly a minor inefficiency there that I basically played my land with a plan in mind and then changed my plan. And so you really need to finalize your plan before you even play your first land. Yeah. But sometimes you change your mind and you have to just deal with that. All right, so we're racing an IGI. I think we can do that with not too much problem here. We do... Although if we had played the officer, we would be able to attack for 1, but that's not a big loss. The real question is, does our patrol survive? If our patrol survives, I like our chances here, but it is the first creature worth killing that we've played, so if they have removal, I expect we'll see it now, and this patrol will be dead. And then it could be a little tougher. This is a nice blocker, unless we can get things big enough to get through it. Well, they're not snapping it off, but they might just be planning out their turn. All right, that's good. Ooh. Let's see how to play this out. If we... Yeah, we could mentor the igneous, but then the ignis, but they still get to block with the informant. Maybe we smash with the patrol. I'm trying to figure out, like, right now we have 3 things that pump power. Although I have a 0 here, so I got to come up with something. I'm just going to do it this way. I'm trying to be greedy and come up with lots of ways to get maximum mentorship here. But I think just killing the eel and being able to get in with everything is worth it. Because now we can put this on the ignis, and the informant can't kill anything. And we'll go ahead and play... We've already played our splash card anyway. We'll play the thing that has to come into play tapped. And actually, by using the Savage Smash to mentor the thing that the Parhelion Patrol cannot mentor naturally, we actually still get our natural mentoring of the Urchin. And in this case, let's see, they have 3 total power, so we can set up a situation where they are forced to trade. Actually, we can go... You kind of just attack with everything and then play the Recluse and play Stomping Ground tapped and then have these 2 back up. I think I like that. Because then we get our natural mentoring here. And if they want to trade Electromancer for Urchin, that's fine. And if they want to trade Ingus for Electromancer, that's also fine. Ignis. Yeah, but we can do that next turn. I like that line. I like this line. They don't have great blocks here unless they have... this mana worries me. They could have the instant speed 3-2, but this trades with that. This trades with both of those as well also, so no worries. Solid. Blade Brand plus Demir Informant is a nice trick. But I like the turn anyway. I don't like that they got a card out of that, but we're putting nice pressure on them. This is going to make them wish they still had a Blade Brand or that they have another one. Notion Rain... I can live with. I think that 2 damage is big deal. Yeah, they're getting card and card selection, so we have good cards to face off against now, but we get to Rubble Belt onto Parhelion. Ooh, we could just Exaltation and attack here, but no, I'm going to go with Rubble Belt. And if we draw a land next turn, we can go Exaltation Officer. That might be a thing. So I'm going to do this, throw it on the patrol, and then attack with everything. Mentor the Urchin, and let Garfield sort it out. Exaltation is very much a non-bow with Mentor, but... often mentor, you tap out your mentor, can't mentor anything anymore, and then this, I think this is a good stall card. I was looking at possibly cutting it. We did think about cutting it, but I think it holds its weight here. I mean, heck, it's a game winner next turn. They might just scoop now, but they've got Ill-Gotten to gain 4, so they're at a virtual 9. It's okay. Yeah, it's not like... Trouble is, it's a do-nothing on defense, right? If you're behind, it's stone-cold nothing, and of course, helps from behind is one of the most, if not the most important parts of the quadrant theory. Oh, sure. Yeah, I have to attack with good point. It's very much a non-bow with a recluse, unless you're trying to just attack with a massive... Huh, that's funny. Yeah, trample with exaltation is a little better. Attack with the urchin or whatever. Well, when I say behind, if you're behind, it means your opponent already has good attacks against you and is using them against you, you know? Yeah, we could actually officer and mentor the recluse now. That's really funny. Exalted is an old mechanic, and exaltation is a nod to it. We can cast both of these. Let's do officer on patrol here. We have to attack with the recluse, so exaltation is not lethal. That's what chat was pointing out. But attacking with everything should also be lethal. I mean, we don't know what they have here. Okie doke. Yeah, Alara block was the debut of Exalted. Well, Smash worked out that time. It was a critical card. Gave us the removal of a big creature and an extra Exalted trigger. Hey Citruck, we're in a little bit of an odd spot playing a Boros aggro deck in Sealed, but it felt like the best card, best deck. We get 3 losses and we're done. So we have what I call 2 fouls to give. And for those of you who don't know what I say that a lot, and it's a basketball term. In professional basketball, if you get called for fouling somebody 5 times, you're out of the game. And as a team, if you foul somebody 5 times, the other team gets special considerations. So basically, they consider you having 4 fouls to give, which is that you can foul 4 times without hitting the penalty. Well, Footlight Fiend is the wrong card here, but we're going to assume that we find some red and keep this on the strength of Stalwart into an eventual Parhelion. Yeah, we're on the paid because we didn't chat vote. I did this. We played twice. We drafted twice on the paid account yesterday, so I felt it was reasonable to try out this format in Sealed today. Hey, Batmeme, how you doing? We're not bonzing that. Let's just attack. This is sad. Want some untapped land of basically any kind just to get the patrol out, but obviously we want ourselves some red pronto. What does that mean? Oh, they qualified? Congrats, Oppo. It's like pinning your PTQ pin to your playmat or whatever. Hey, Tron. Oh, it's 6 now, I see, on the NBA thing. Shows you how in tune with the NBA I am. I used to be a big NBA fan in the 90s. Well, I was just a bigger sports fan in the 90s. When I was in my 20s and had nothing but time for myself, sports seemed a lot more relevant. All right, we got our mountain. They took out our mentor, unfortunately, but we do get the patrol here. That's awfully suspicious. I'm not going to bite here. If it's a bluff attack, good work, Oppo, but I don't see the need to risk our patrol. Ah, maybe it was about getting the acrobat out. Well... considering... Okay, Recluse is a 6/5. But I think we just want the Fiend to try and get the acrobat. And then we have Justice Strike at instant speed at the ready. Oh, neat. What does your dad do for the NBA? I'm not familiar with the term Elam ending, but if you mean the idea of instead of ending a basketball game on a clock, you, at a certain point on the clock, set a victory bar at 7 points ahead of whatever the current leader has. I've heard of that. It's interesting. It'll never happen, but from an abstract game design standpoint, I really like it. But practically, I don't think it's gonna happen. So, for anybody lightly curious about that, one of the problems with basketball is because of the fouls to give situation, you are strategically, quote, required at the end of a game to kind of use your fouls, and it's hold on.
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal, light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance.
Really drags basketball games down because strategically coaches feel that they are required to use this system to their advantage, and all this. Yeah, it's like unwatchable at the end of a basketball game. Foul, foul. It's just watching people shoot free throws. It's miserable. So the idea is instead of that, you just say, okay, the current score is 88 to 84. We now make the winning score 95, and whichever team gets to 95 first wins. And it takes away that whole crappy end of a basketball game, but at too much of a cost for like the NBA to ever adopt, I think. All right. Yeah, it's always a game-winning shot. Every game has a game-winning shot. That's cool, too. Justice Strike we could use now on the Acrobat. Yeah, let's do that. And now we could go Bonds and Ignis. That's an interesting line. But I'm not sure exactly what that gets us. I'm just going to go with the Recluse. We can attack with both, though. If they want to block a 2-2, block the Footlight Fiend, we'll trade the Footlight Fiend here. That's fine. It basically gives it's a skill tax, I would say, in that if you do that ending, you're basically giving teams that are behind more of a chance to come back than they would have otherwise. So in a sense, it's a skill tax. All right, let's see. Sacrifice this. Gain control of target creature power. Yeah, so we could play and cast this, but we don't quite win with that trick yet. So let's Bonds the Flyer and just play the Ignis without activating it afterwards. And now the Ignis actually puts him in a tough spot. I do like the space, the design space of playing with 2 1s for 1 and a red that do some stuff that's pretty cool, that has like a sacrifice spell type ability. This is also what I feel like white should be doing more of to be better and limited. I want this to be a 2-1 flyer with an ability that works late, you know, a sack ability. Oh no, yeah, I didn't. I can scroll up though. Let's see what you're currently present. Wow, neat. That's cool. Mensch, were you living with your dad when he worked in India, or was that not at the same time? Sacrificing yourself, anything can do that. Are you kidding? Like, you want to go here? Let's look at white cards that say sacrifice. I wonder if what we have in that vein. So you can sacrifice Dauntless Bodyguard. You can sacrifice a bounty agent to destroy something. You can sacrifice. See, Encampment Keeper is somewhat on the path of what I'm talking about, but 8 was just too much. You know, lots of sacrifice in white if the meaning and flavor is correct. Medium says, so where do we get value out of sealed? Oh, yeah, like 6. It's really awful. It's I mean, we get value out of sealed the moment we join and get the sweet dopamine rush of looking at 6 rares, right? All right, this is a keeper. Kind of want something to do on 3 besides Savage Smash, but we're happy about the distribution here. Maniacal Rage on Stalwart could be very good, depending on what kind of defenses Oppo has. Might just have to go for it. I mean, if we're running Maniacal Rage, it's certainly to put it on an early creature and get there, or honestly, to put it on... Nah, maybe we won't now. We'll, now we have a nice 2-3-4. Perfect 2-3-4. We can smash and rage on 5 if we draw another land. Cannot smash without dying here. We're just going to take a turn off on attacking with the Stalwart, get in with the air, and cast our Griffin, and then have all sorts of options next turn. Yeah, I know, we could put, but we can do that eventually. We're just not, I just don't want to do that now. Let's just keep building the board with our creatures, get them to use their removal and stuff, and then maybe hopefully Maniacal Rage is kind of like we play it on the last turn of the game. Like, Oppo attacking, probably not correct. Definitely not correct. Definitely not correct. Let's see. We can just go... Can we just win? How can we just win here? If we go Take Heart... is 2, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can get him to 2. What do you, let's just get him to 2. We'll do it this way. Yeah, no need to Take Heart. That's a good point. And in fact, no need to Maniacal Rage. We'll just Urchin here instead of... We'll take him to 4 instead of 2, and then Urchin. I'm actually going to put it here because the Maniacal Rage, it doesn't really matter. I'm just doing it on the biggest one that I can. I don't know what Oppo could have to get out of this. I don't think it exists. There you go. Well, that's how we're trying to approach this. We didn't have a lot of bomby late game stuff. We have no late game inevitability, so we're just trying to get it done before they can get their feet under them. Yeah, kind of. Except the thing is, if I win that first match, we're in the 1-0 bracket instead of the 0-1 bracket, and who knows how it goes from there, right? But I lost a game I could have won. We know that much. Sports and games are what we do when we don't have anybody to kill. And we've got survival under control. I don't want to kill any humans right now. Let's fake kill humans instead. Well, this is coming out fast. We'll see if it'll be enough. Well, sometimes like you're going to kill someone tomorrow, but you don't have someone to kill tonight, and that's when you play a game. That's what I'm saying. A little too removal heavy. There, unfortunately, yeah, if I could play something at instant speed to kill that, I absolutely would, but obviously the skewer does not get that done. Alright, well... I mean, we could attack with Footlight Fiend, and they might not even block. It's probably a good bluff. I'm going to try a bluff attack because the fallback plan isn't that bad. Alright. They did it. But I will do this. Honestly, I was hoping they wouldn't block. And honestly, if I were Oppo, I wouldn't have blocked, because the +2/+2 type pumping that is available in red-white. But because that was our worst case, I went for it. It's just kind of like we're wow, that's also really aggressive with a 4-mana removal spell. Maybe they have more. Could be that they're going to just kill this too and that they had a boon of removal in hand. But we're going to make them have it. We can Justice Strike it. Probably need to do that. We could let it go, though. Didn't find the land to be able to do what you're suggesting. Yeah, no double white, but I think we just Justice Strike and go here. Now we get Smash on the up. If we draw an untapped land, we get both of these next turn. That's good. Woof. Never mind. That doesn't help us. No reach, at least. Yeah, well, I don't know if this is a great pull, but this is a great pull. Alright, I guess we guard and smash, and we have to smash... Well, with that, we could smash the creeper if we want, but the thing is they're going to turn this into a 6/6, which is even worse for us. So I'm just going to take out the hybrid. Can we attack? We might need to stay back and block the creeper. But if they want to use their mana to make this fly, is that the worst for us? We get them to 10, they get us to 6. And then we have potential attack backs for the win. I'm going to attack. My reaction to people saying they are lucky or unlucky is an internal eye roll with an understanding of human nature, and largely I just let that go. However, I'll tell a story after I die here. We're gonna say no blocks. If they don't have any card here, we could just draw something to win. Hey, look at that! Look at that! Oh, I thought I got him to less. I just miscounted. Never mind. My mana was my counting was off. Let's see. We can go. All right, now we're gonna attack and chump. Attack here for 4 and chump here. Trying to find a way to win this. I suppose we could have just held this, because if we're going to use it to win... Yeah, alright. Yeah, we could have actually, like, survived there. We were just so doomed, though. Alright, good deck, Oppo. Not much to be done there. Alright, now what did somebody say that made me think of something that I wanted to say about something? Oh, lucky or unlucky. Yeah. This is the paid account, so we're getting extra loot because we have the Mastery Pass. So, Ubermensch asked me what my reaction was to people saying they are lucky or unlucky when, of course, we know that humans are not unlucky or unlucky. Things happen, but they don't impact the likelihood of them happening to you again or not in the future, right? So some things to in the general category. A couple funny stories. One thing, a friend of mine, Zame Beg, many in the Magic community know Zame. He loves to go to Vegas, and he's a very mathematical type of guy. Plays poker and is only really interested in poker because he knows he's comes out ahead or whatever, but loves to troll gamblers, and one of his favorite gamblers to troll are the roulette players, because, you know, roulette, all the bets on the roulette wheel are basically the same odds except for the green ones, but let's not, effectively all the bets on a roulette wheel are the same odds. It just doesn't matter where you put your bet, your odds are going to be the same. But they also put a board on roulette showing what numbers have come up recently. So, you know, and so you can see that 14 has come up 5 times. And Zame likes to talk to gamblers about how lucky they are that day and feel them out, and loves to ask them the question, okay, roulette players, there's a bunch of 14s on the board. Does that mean that 14 is hot, and therefore I should bet on 14 and stuff around 14 because it's hot? Or does that mean that it's used up its time and that other numbers are due, that you should avoid 14 because it's already shown up? And he'll ask that with a straight face and get complete game plans, lectures, and strategical theory from roulette players about how they use that board of what has happened to decide what is coming. So that's one of my favorite. Just go play with roulette players. And then the other story I wanted to tell, though, is like, what do I say to players who say they're unlucky? Mostly I just let it go. But if it's somebody I work with or somebody I'm expecting to hang out with a lot, I'll push back. I had a guy at work who would never roll d20s because he would, quote, always lose. Like, he would not, and it was like, and I was pretty relentless on him. But at Adams, where we draft basically a couple times a month, and certainly every month in our league, one of the players in our league last season is a physics professor, a physics teacher, physics professor. And when I wanted to, the way I decide in live to see who goes first is just roll one die and say odd or even, right? I say odd or even and roll a die, and then that's 50-50, right? Well, I pick up a die and go odd or even, and this physics teacher says to me, I never win odd or even. I want to do high roll because I never win odd or even. And this is a very good Magic player and someone who teaches physics, and I could not let that go. I was like, wait a second, Dr. Physics. Are you telling me, Dr. Physics, that die knows that it's being rolled on your behalf and changes itself to make you lose more often? Are you serious, Mr. Physics? And I rode him for the whole match because I expect it from the average human to not get that. But if you teach physics and won't let me pick up a die and say odd or even to determine our roll, you need to correct. There's something, come on, man, that's not right. And actually, to his credit, to his great credit, the very next time we played, he said, you know what, Ryan, I thought about it and you're right. I'm being ridiculous. It's 50-50, and I'm actually going to do odd or even from now on to remind myself that that I'm just being superstitious and that there's no math behind it. So the physics teacher, at the very least, pulled himself together and dropped that nasty habit. But most humans are not like that and are going to carry around their superstitions. And there you go. What about the spiral down D20 that's yeah, I want you to show me the master dice tosser who can roll a spin down and make it come up more often on the sides that they want. Come on. If someone takes a spin down and does this and lets it go on the table, you know what? It's random enough. Let it go. Marsh Viper says, seriously though, don't you ever believe things you know aren't true because it's kind of fun? Yeah. Like, I guess I have weird habits around numbers and superstitions that I understand what they are, that I laugh at my brain as I fall for them or whatever, but yeah. All right. Back to it. All right, we've given up both of our fouls to give. One more loss and we are done. Yeah, Rocky, that's one of mine. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a clock thing. Also 1, 1, 1, 1. There's a superstition around like touching a clock that's at 1, 1, 1, 1 that I've kind of fallen into, so I'll do that unconscious, like for no good reason. Oh, this looks great. If I see a clock at 11:11, I'll touch it and laugh at myself. I don't even know where I heard it, but whatever, it's in my head now and part of my superstitious fabric. My self-aware superstitious fabric. Yeah, make a wish at 11:11, right. All right, we're gonna go... We actually have a couple choices here. We can go Stalwart, Footlight, or just Wojek. I'm gonna attack with the Fire Urchin, and then let's figure out what we want to do. Might want to go Stalwart, Footlight. But don't you have to... I thought it was that you could only make a wish if you touched the clock before it made it to 11:12. Anyway, sorry, back to this. Like, if we play Bodyguard and they eliminate the Urchin, then they kill the Urchin, then we're kind of stalled for a little bit. I'd rather go Stalwart, Footlight, because then there's not... then we can't get super disrupted by removal, and the Stalwart still mentors the Fire Urchin as well. And we have bonds to make that happen if we want to do that instead. That's actually great for us for right now. And kind of makes me just want to bonds and attack. Although we could just offer up the trade for the Footlight Fiend here, and that would be fine. Let's do that. Nothing else trades. And then dropping Bodyguard here, like with Bond's backup, it's going to be hard for them to win unless they play something with Hexproof here. Or somehow multiple creatures. Like, they can play any big thing they want, we bonds it, and just go to town. Huh, I liked my line. I think the line we took was great. I don't know. The idea, Ubermensch, is that if you're an accomplished dice roller, and there are accomplished dice rollers, you can at least get it to land in like a region on the die, and so when all of the high numbers are packed into one region, a good die roller can do something there with that. Okay, we're gonna bonds the Collector. And attack. Let's see. Do we have to... We want to mentor... Yeah, this is fine, right? Oh, no, I did it wrong. Wait, is this... Oh, I did it wrong. Or maybe it doesn't even work to do it that way anyway. But we'll go like this. Yeah, okay. Windraven confirms what I was thinking, that there was no way for me to stack it to, like, get this to be a 3/3 so that it could mentor up the Urchin. They all go on the stack at the same time, and you have to choose a legal mentor target when they go on the stack. So if it was illegal at the time of the stack, it doesn't update the first mentor target in time for it to change its legal targets for its mentoring. yeah, as Steven points out, ours didn't even go, well, it tried to, like, it had us order the triggers, but then didn't produce the trigger for the white one because there was no target. Hey, Hanthor, thank you for that. We're going to keep this. No twos, which is unfortunate, but officer into patrol, into battlement with exaltation eventually could be good. This depends on what oppo removal is. I am Bat Meme. I would ask a actual statistician that question. The answer is I wouldn't know, so I would seek an expert. Well, I know what my officer does now, but unfortunately, it does not matter. With exaltation, we should be less inclined to trade, and we're not going to do that here. Probably means they're going to play something else that can block, or they wouldn't have attacked with the beetle. Yeah, that's fair. That's a heck of a blocker right there. I'm going to go with the patrol, though. And we're going to be patient. We're going to take some from the juggler and say no attacks. Lack of a beetle attacking suggests no real trick or anything. Ferox is a little rough, but we can actually pay 2 and throw a bonds on it right now. Might have to. We could also go ahead and lumbering battlement and remove the officer, and then the battlement's a great blocker. Can even block a Ferox, and they've shown us they don't have removal really. And we could skewer something. I'm going to go ahead and attack and plan to battlement here and see what they do about that. If they manage to do something about our battlement, then we have bonds as a backup plan. You know, I talked about my gambling design on limited resources. Oh man, they are coming for it, huh? Weird. They didn't show tricks before. I guess I'm going to go ahead and trade the battlement for a trick. We'll get our officer back if they have something here, and then we can do the bonds trick next turn. But I did this play so that we could block this thing. I'm going to make him have something here, and then do the bonds play next turn if we need to. Anyways, Steven, you're not wrong. Like, they must have just drawn that, or they would have been attacking before. Anyway, Steven, as I was researching ways to cheat at gambling to give players in This Is Vegas a way to make money while gambling authentically in Vegas, I did actually look into dice tossers, and there are expert dice tossers who can do enough of a manipulation on tossing casino style dice to actually eliminate the house edge. It's not like they can choose what to roll every time, but they can affect it enough to affect the house edge, which is pretty interesting. Okay, well, Yeah, we're gonna have to do the bonds thing.
Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar.
Thank you for the sub. Unfortunate to trade our battlement for a combat trick, but we were in, I think, a spot where we didn't have, like, instant speed stuff to punish them for a combat trick, so we just had to spring the trap. Oh, no. Well, now I think we better make a trade. That exaltation is pretty awful here. Well, we do have 15. Yeah, I'm not willing to go to 10 here. We're just going to trade this off. And we'll get the stalwart down and have an instant speed justice strike at the ready. That's not bad. If they find something big, we can answer it as long as it's bigger than it is tough. All right, well, we've got a justice strike. I'm going to make sure they read the first strike. They might not have. Seems all right. Yeah, we'll strike the troll and skewer the shade. Although we can exalt and skewer the shade. No way they're blocking here. Come on. Oh, we're not. Fair enough, Magic. You can follow your own rules. It's all right. Running out of steam a little bit, but hey, that helps. If they don't have any more removal, this is going to be quite a beast. And also indicates that we are aggro, because I just made the stalwart unable to block. But 5 power first strike should get us a long way. Yeah, we've had sets without a +2/+2 enchantment from red, but they've taken on different forms. There's one that gives it menace, right? And can't block? I don't know, I can't remember. Some non-bows are innocuous enough that the combos they still feel are worth it, such is the case with Mentor and Exalted. All right. Well, now you got a chump, and we get a Legionnaire with. So you just it's not as much of a non-bow as it is a you get to decide. No. It loses the ability, it loses that ability. All right, kill a flyer or die. That does not kill a flyer. Can you kill a flyer? Nope. All right, we got it. Nice. Up to 5. I'm behind on my record updating, sorry, but that's nice. Oh boy, 1 win and we got our gems back in sealed. And that looks great. All right. Need a 4, but we have a 2, 3, 4. Actually, could use a 3 besides smash. We probably aren't going to want to smash on 3. There's a 3. Love it. Now give us a nice 4 and we have a perfect hand. Ooh, there's another 3 we can consider, but let's go ahead and start with this guard. Here I'm definitely going with the bodyguard. We're not going to offer any trades here. I don't... you know, they wouldn't take it, though. Like, how bold are we? I really don't want to lose the guard, but also there's just no way they trade for a guild mage or a dissident for this guard. So I'm going to assume Oppo is good and play like... I'm going to assume Oppo is playing like me and is not going to accept either of these trades. It's a little bold, but we're doing it. All right, we read it correctly. And now I'm going to go bodyguard. I was worried last time about the fact that if Oppo killed this second creature, bodyguard would not be able to attack, but we have a legionnaire in hand. So if they go for kill the guard, strand the bodyguard, we actually get to legionnaire attack and it'll be great. So I sequenced it that way this time. And if Oppo is spending their turn doing that, we could not be happier. We're gonna... Well, we need a second red, and then we have strike smash. Right now, let's keep in mind we only have 1 red per turn, though. Wojek can't attack... has mentor, but can't attack or block alone. Actually gonna make the district guard bigger so that it can tangle on the ground better than it does currently. That's solid. I mean, they're 2-for-1ing themselves. That's great. I mean, it's just great. We could take a turn smashing to pump here, but we're going to play battlement and not even swap any. We're just going to play it for a 4-5. No need for any exiling with this board. Well, we did have Savage Smash in hand, so if they had done anything really troubling on the ground game, we could have done some Savage Smashing. I haven't... Have I done the update? I don't know if there's a... I don't see any difference in my file explorer. Maybe I haven't updated nice. But yeah, we did it! Look at that! 6 wins! Gems back! Sealed is great. We love sealed. You don't like crabs? I don't think they misclicked. I think they just were trying to race in a non-raceable situation. Well, you like the name then. There's no seafood in this deck. Don't worry, Banana Jack. You can eat here. Yeah, I might just call this a short stream today after we finish here. Maybe we'll go grind the free-to-play account. I think that's what we'll do. We'll finish this event, and we'll go do maintenance on free-to-play since we didn't draft there today, and then I'm going to go and be uncomfortable in a dentist chair for 90 minutes or whatever. Ugh, it's going to be awful. Can I just have him put me under? Yeah, I think we have the island on both accounts. I'm missing a 2, but this 3 into this 4 is not the worst, and we have a gate to play on 1. Love to find a 2-drop in the next 2 draws, but we'll see. Not there. Not a 2, unfortunately. Thank you for the host, Amazonian. Well, now what? Nothing we play can block the white. Are we racing here? We can get 2 in the air and bring it to 18. I think we get some racing pretty good in the air here. But I'm going to play the Minotaur and be willing to trade it off, I think. That happens when somebody fires up their stream and immediately starts hosting somebody. So it just means... it probably means Amazonian is the one viewer, you know? So thank you, Amazonian. It's all right. It means people who go to Amazonian's page, Twitch page, will find me. That's cool. Oh, I don't know. Okay, well, if I got a lot of viewers and that was a lie, hello, viewers. Welcome. I'm gonna go Minotaur here, and we'll pass. Ah, I see. Well, anyway, thank you, Amazonian. Glad to have you here, and hope you had an awesome stream today. Should you throw away your Mountain Dew? You do you, man. But I am a lesson in the potential consequences of Mountain Dew. How about that? Well... Minotaur is not doing anything about this Peacemaker, although it's probably going to end up having a bonds on it. Let's block here. With the Exalted enchantment somewhere in the deck, I don't love trading, but we're behind a bit here and needing to catch up on board. Go with Patrol. I'll go with the Senate Griffin. It's bigger. And we get a Scry. Let's find some action. Ooh, Justice Strike. That qualifies. We'll keep that. Oh, yes. It's what I would tell me. I mean, if I could talk to younger Ryan, I'd get all up in his face because he's me. But I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm merely going to show you the consequences of my decisions and Yeah, we're gonna say no blocks here. We can get Bonds and Justice Strike in some quantity combination. Hate using Bonds on the 3/3, but we don't have anything else. It's going to do a lot of damage. If we're going to race, we got to Bonds it. Yeah, the older I get, the more I understand how little I actually know. Feel I get a little humbler by the day. Something like that. Can we race a siege worm? We got 3 attacks, so they go. We go 3. Boom. 3, 4. If they have nothing else, we can race a siege worm. If not, we're gonna have to come back around and fight with it eventually. But let's go ahead and assume we're racing for the moment. Peace, I think it's just average. I don't know, I'd probably rather just play the individual sealed formats, although there have been moments of like, oh, because what happens is, like, people fall into a color. Like, we're Boros, so, like, most of our stuff is from Guilds of Ravnica. So then it is kind of had some cool moments of like, oh, hey, they're playing that Senate Griffin or whatever, because it's not the same. Oh yeah, we're not just racing Siege Worm. Well, now we're in the big troubles. But I think we gotta wait one turn here and hope we draw something that helps with the situation. Yeah, that helps. Okay, I like it. Now we can play out our hand and have some blocks. Unfortunately, we don't have 2 things. What we want, ideally, would be like something like a 3/3, and then we put the patrol and the 3/3 in front of the siege worm, and it's only a 1-for-1. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, so now we're in a position of having to trade 2 creatures for a siege worm. But at least we have blocks on everything here. Actually, we can do it. Let's see how they attack. We could go. Hopefully they attack with everything, in which case we could go Footlight Fiend on Shaman, Senate Griffin on... No, even that doesn't work. Trying to find ways to not have to use 2 full creatures on the Siege Worm, but I'm just not seeing it. Oh yeah, I should have attacked. Silly, silly. That's punt worthy. I'm in on the punt. I think they're coming out too wide here. We're in bad shape now. Our creatures that we're going to draw just aren't big enough, and we're being forced to, like, use 2 to take care of the worm. Okay, well, if they're only going to do that... Ugh. Kind of kills me, but we just have to. And we have to hope that this is enough. For those of you thinking we could block Griffin with Footlight Fiend, it would probably work. But Oppo could, if they were on top of things, put all of the damage on the Griffin. The Footlight Fiend doesn't die, and then we don't even get our man in that case. Well, I'm gonna combine forces with all these cards that I've actually read now. I am Bat Meme. Yes, you can. Yeah, you go into full control and you can do it. And I don't know if they would have managed it, but, you know. It's not usually worth the risk if you have other options. Okay, so in this case, we're going to take 3. We're just going to block the Gorgon. Well, maybe we do... I guess it doesn't matter. Something's got to die. We can't just take it from the glow spore either. I mean, we could block and ping, yes, but... And that's what we're going to do. But we still have to block the other one. Yeah, that's true. I should have done it the other way. That's more damage punted. Jeez, they should be at 14. Good call. They called our bluff, but it was a free attack. If you check that though, do you have to auto assign when it's one creature? Gruzmog? I would never want to waste time assigning to one creature. It was a forced block, basically. I mean, we couldn't go to 1. And now we are not dead, but looking like this event is coming to an end. But we got our profit. I'm happy that we made it to 6 wins here. No, we didn't. And honestly, it would not have been good. There were not many games where it would have been a useful draw. There probably were some, though. What was I saying about this card being useless when behind? All right. Good work, Oppo. Yeah, Sunset. Looked like Oppo was taking some big risks with their mana base. Paid off for them there. Don't know how it's going to do for them the rest of the way, but seemed awfully greedy to me as well. But I'm not going to complain about 6 wins either. Right on. 6 wins from Sealed. Some packs. The card I've signed the most is probably limited resources. Don't have time for another one. If you missed deck building and want to go see deck building, just go to the beginning of the VOD and you can watch our deck building process on that one. Kind of interesting how we ended up where we did. We looked at a whole different deck first. Probably going to go to the free-to-play account and just mess around with some constructed and get our games knocked out there, or maybe start a draft there even, but I have a hard stop pretty soon here with my dental work coming up today. So say goodbye to YouTube viewers, and then we'll figure out as a team what to do here. See you, YouTube. Thanks for hanging.